Right, thought I'd show you this because this is my jelly press thing that I bought. I have got one of the originals, but I'm afraid I think it was 50 something pound for an A4 one, and I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it. So I actually made this one up 3 years ago, and it is still good. Yeah, there's a few indentations now. It's starting to break down, but I can remelt that and redo it. Okay, there's a recipe on Pinterest. I'll try and find the one that I used. I cannot believe this is still fine. I really cannot believe it. I do tend to use, I think I used like a couple of more packets of gelatine with it than the recipe said, because it was still a little bit runny. But this, I mean, mind you, it's quite cold in here. It's just starting to break down, look. Right, but for this tutorial, hopefully it doesn't go wrong, I will use it, because I don't mind about all those things in the background, like these marks. Adds to it. There you go. You just keep melting it in the microwave again. Yeah, we got to, like I say, it's just starting to break down, look. But that, it's got to be 2 years, and 2 years, if not 3. Yeah, it's a bit warped now, but my page is, you know, a little bit bigger there. No, that's pretty good, really. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to have a play anyway. Right, I'm just going to get some paints. Okay, I've just got a bit on there because I just had a play, but I'm just going to do that. Okay, and, oh, yellow. What yellow did I use? I think it was this one. And just a bit more of that. Now, I'm doing this without any stencils or anything, okay? Because I just want to show you without any stencils. Yeah, it is starting to break down a bit, but I actually don't mind. You just see it, it's starting to melt. But that ain't bad. Okay. Right, this is one of the sheets that I've recently done a little video on, where I used it as a eco print. Okay, and I'm going to do the back of that one like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go over that one. And pick some more up of that. Wow, look at that. That is great. I love actually the bits that aren't right. And this was done on very lightly. I've just done that one. Very lightly coffee stained paper or tea stained paper. Okay, and I think that looks great. So I'll do that one as well, which I haven't got quite enough on there. So I mean, there's so many different ways that you can use this. I'm going to use, what was that one? Cadmium yellow, deep. Bit there. Might be a bit much. Don't need very much actually. I mean, there's stencils you can use. There's all sorts of things. And that's blending the colours, which is fine for me. Okay, right, because I don't sort of want it all over, I'm just going to lay it down like that. Okay, and I'm going to just gently, a little bit more pressure in some places than others. Yeah, like that, and that is it. And then take it off. And there we have a nice print. Yep. Right, I've got another one here, coffee stained piece of paper. Alright, and I'm just gonna pick up a little bit more. I know I'm doing it in the book in a minute, but I'm just sort of doing it this way for a minute just to get, because it's years ago since I've used it. So okay, and then pick up this, and this is without any stencils at all. So go. Love it. Right, this one here where I feel maybe a little bit too dark, I'm going to use a bit of white. Good way of using up your paints too, which loads of. Right, so again, I'm going to place it down. And bring up. See what I mean now? It's lightened that whole thing up. And I'm going to do the back. Usually you wait for it to dry. I'm going to and this is no stencils whatsoever. Which again, there we go. And that's, pick that up, lovely. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of these. I'm going to do this one. Okay, so because this is quite a dark base, again, I'm going to use white and the pistachio a little bit, I think. Oh, maybe a little bit yellow. So I want a bit of a white base, yeah. A bit of yellow. Might be enough green left in there. Okay, place that on. Lovely. And our first layer, that's great. I'm just gonna get some down there. That's it. Like that. Yep, love it, because I'm gonna add a bit of white to that white gesso after to that. But that's just our first layer. So I'm going to do a few. I'll go in a bit. Do one of those. I need a bit of green on that one though, but it's okay. There we go. And that's picked up a bit of green that time. Yep. Should be able to get a bit of green off of there that's underneath that layer. Like that. Okay, this is a bag I've recently done. I'll do that one first. Okay, a bit more there. See if I can pick some of that yellow up. I just love the texture of it when it's finished too. It's really good. There, lovely. Got some good bases. Right, I'm going to add a little bit of, oh, violent blue, iridescent, but it looks like sort of pinky purple colour. Let's see. And I just literally want quite a thin layer. Okay, so I'm going to have to work this one in quite a bit. Just feel like I want a bit of that colour. So I'm literally almost rubbing it out. Okay, Right, and that was the ones done earlier. Okay, and again, I'm just going to literally, just gently, in places, do that. And here we have it. Nice bit of pink on there. Okay, just warming it all up a bit. And then we'll do the same with that one. There we go. Creates a nice background. And I would definitely use that. And that was the other one I done. That, so I'm going to now pick up what's left. There we go. Okay, so that's what we've done with that. Okay, I'm trying to get all spring colours. Right, so now it's beginning to look like an art journal. I might use those, isn't I? Actually, yeah, I might do. I've got another thing I'd like to use that on. Okay. See if we can pick any up with that that's left, because I only want a bit on there just as... Yeah, perfect. You know, and this one needs white, you know, but that will come in a minute. So, on with the next bit. Right, this is part 2. And the papers are all dried. Put them in here. Okay. And now I know what sort of colours going on. I mean, some of them haven't been done because I'm going to do a different technique with that. But I thought I would get on and show you how to sew it in. And because we can take them out after. I've chosen... a minute. So, I'll open that. So I've chosen these colours. That one there goes with that one there. And a little bit yellow. And that one, let's see if you can see them all. Yep. Okay. So that's my colour palette that I'm going to use, and I keep them by me through the journal. And of course, the normal ones, they always come into play. All right, so this is the way they've turned out. Yes, really grungy, but this is the playbook. You know, I'm gonna do something with that one as well. And this one needs a bit of gesso on to lighten it up. That bag, but I really love it. This one we'll do some inks. This one needs a bit more of something, not sure what, and this one has to be covered up a bit more because there's a lot going on the inside of that one, but that's okay. And that's another one of those yellow bags, but not the inside of it. And I could make that into a pocket, top loading pocket or something, which would be quite nice. Yep, might do. And then I left that one in because that'll catch okay. So what I took the smallest piece of paper to work out my binding. Okay, don't need that one for a minute. Because it's only a 2-hole one. It's like doing what do you call it? Not a file folder, the ones that you thread through. I've done them. My art journal was like it. Right. So this is the smallest piece. So I go from there. So make sure everything's lined up. Okay, and that's quite centralised because we need to catch it. And then this is cut the same size as our signature, like so. Okay, and what I do, I fold that in half, okay, to find the middle, which is there. All right, do it that way, it's easier. So I fold it in half to find the middle, all right, and then I fold that up to the middle, yeah, which gives me where my hole wants to be, and the same that side, right? And then that I've got to make sure that this piece, the smallest piece of paper, is caught, all right, whereas This one wouldn't have a hole in it. If you was doing the 3 pamphlet stitch, it'd be fine. But that would only catch once in the middle. Okay, and then sometimes it moves around a bit, so I just thought they was a little bit small. This one was out of it as well, so I took them out, but we can use them in the journal. All right, so I'm going to replace those bits with some of, say, this. Yeah, and you know, if you didn't fancy using all that packaging and all this sort of messy stuff, then you could use it for your misprints or papers that you don't like, because again, you know, rip the edges a bit, that's all been cut a bit too neat. That could go in, or not even with that, and that would fit in as well. All right, so that's some of the misprints, and which I love. That one's upside down, I think. And that one. There we go. That's there. And there was a little video on that I done the other day, so more papers than that, but that could go in there, and that could go in there. Okay. More papers though, there's not really enough in there. Again, you know, it's something trashy that we could play with, not having to worry. All right, because again, it's nice to have something where you can go one day and just have a little play. I mean, yes, you have to be careful what you do to it, because it's only paper after all. You know, I usually make these and I use watercolor paper and things like that, but I just thought it was a nice way to have a little playbook. Yeah, which I've got about 3 now on the go. Be nice to finish one day, wouldn't it? And then I could show you how to stitch it in first. Okay, and then we can go back and play with the cover, only because it's going to, you know, dry in time and things like that, so I most probably have to finish it off tomorrow, and then while it's drying we can work with some of the papers, but I'll get on and show you making a hole. So I mean, I've got so I make sure that's sort of in there where I want it, making sure yeah, everything's fairly straight. So I am going to go and get my little block. I mean, some people do it through a telephone book, you know that, but I've got a little thing that my husband made. Which is that. Making sure it's nicely squished down and that's fairly centralised, and this is the time where I actually make a bigger hole. All right, I'll use this one, I think, because that's a bit thicker. So go through and I will wiggle it around like that. All right, make a bigger hole. Okay. Okay. That's there. Move that out the way. Right. Just going to clip that down a minute. Right. And I've got some of this jute string. I don't need that much really. That should be fine. Okay, and what I do here is put a bit of tape over this bit. Okay, ooh, if I can find it. Okay, just a bit of masking tape. Make this into a bit of a threader. Most probably work without it, but and then sort of cut it with a pointy bit. So it's like that. But it's gone. I got a big enough hole. Yeah, that should work okay. One there. Oh, there's plenty of string here. Just a bit too much, really. And then we just tie it off for now. And I'm not, you know, no, I'm not going to worry about that for now because we're going to take it in and out, all right? And it's not, I haven't even done it tight, but it's far too much here. Let's have a look. Right, let's do the cover now. So I'm going to take it out. I mean, these sort of things are more, you know, for yourself. They're not really, you know, they're not, some people like them and, you know, would buy them. But I actually find that things like this, I play in. And does it matter? Because to be honest, once you've done the cover, you know, again, this is all scraps. What are you losing? It's only a bit of your time, and what you're doing is you're learning through everything that you do and play with and try. You know, some will work and some won't. But please don't be, you know, just play away. All right, so I'm taking this off because I'm going to add some colour now to the cover. And I'm going to take that out. That was just to show the pocket and put that away, and guarantee I'll lose this, but get lost in my pile. Right, so I'm gonna definitely add a bit of colour now we know what we're working with. Where to start? It's fun, isn't it? Right, what I want is this by me open so I can sort of see what's going on with the colours. I usually put that up there so I can look at it and get a feel. Okay. Right, that's one of the darkest, so, and that one. So I will do those two first, I think. Yep. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to rub it over, like so. Like that. And then spritz with a little bit of water. Like so. And dry off. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit the same with the green, which is peel paint actually, but it is green. Okay. Now I'm going to add a little bit of seedless preserves. Right, I'm not sure about this colour because I haven't used it much, so I'm going to just try it on a piece of paper first. I haven't even got a sponge, but I'll use that one. Well, just, oh, it is quite strong. Right, okay, that's fine, because what I'm going to do with that one is do the water puddle technique. Okay, and then we'll do this technique where we just do that. Just want a bit on there. Okay, Right, and while that's there, I'm going to pick a bit up. Definitely on that bit, it's a bit dull, that bit, so. Mix that up. Okay, I think that looks okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of stamping now. I've got to make sure that that's the right way up. Okay, so I am the right way up. If you don't mind it the right way up, the text and everything, then fine. You know, there's bits that isn't. I've chosen just a few. Also a couple of texture ones. I've just got those. I've got, what's that, Inspire, a couple of butterflies, which I seem to use these all the time. What's that one? Dream. And Imagine. I did have one Create, but I can't find it, so I put it somewhere because I've used it recently. So those ones, these are all background, smaller ones there. A text stamp, and I always use that one, I love it. And some music, because we've got music here as well. So what I tend to do is I will keep these in a pot by the side of me, and I usually carry on with these through the whole book. So I got some kind of continuing, you know, everything continuing through the book. I've chosen Memento, but this stays on as well. I'm not sure whether I'm going to add any water, so I can't use my favourite ink pad, all right, which is VersaFine, which is really good, but it does run a bit. It might be all right if I heat set it, but I use that one because I know it's permanent. And then you've got your archival ones, the Ranger ones, they're usually okay. All right, so let's get on and do a bit of stamping. Not much actually, because it's quite busy, and I still want to put some decoupage, you know, over somewhere. So we shall see. I'll do a little bit of text first because I fancy something, a little bit of text up here. Like that. Quite random. I'll do it up here. That's that. And I'm going to get this one. Quite a lot of dark on there, so I don't really need that there. Yeah, that is it, because it's quite busy. Right, I'm not going to worry about the stamps, the butterflies or anything yet, because I want to put a bit of decoupage on this first. And then see what happens, because I might need to use a little bit of gesso still. Still feel that this needs pushing back a little bit. Right, what have I got? Oh, I've got some of that. Oh, that might be nice actually, but I've got, there we go, I've got bits. I like to use up my bits. Yeah, I know it's quite modern, but I love it. So I think this in places is going to look actually quite nice. Blend in with what we're doing, yeah. Don't want too much of it, just here and there. Saying that. 10 minutes later, the whole thing will be covered in it. Yeah, all right, let's get on and do this. This is the fun bit. I really enjoy this bit. I enjoy it all, actually. Actually, I'll get a brush for this. I just wanted a small brush because I'm doing sort of quite small areas. So. Actually, I quite like if that went over there. Because I actually don't like things that stop just dead there. Okay, I think we need something sort of around here. Okay, a little bit more here somewhere. Because what we've done, we've done 3. I'm just going to have a little look, see what's happening. Okay. And I need something on here. Right, what I'm doing here, because some of the Distress Oxide is still quite thick in areas, so because it's wet, and it's, you know, I can just spread that out a bit as well, which I quite like. And there's a little bit there, that green. Okay, that's all nice and dry, and I'm quite happy with that. I do feel it's a little tiny bit dark up in this area there. So I'm going to add a little bit of gesso here and there, all over, but very, very lightly. So I'm not going to put much on at all. Just crinkle that up a minute. It's one of those deli sheets. And I'm going to just literally make sure there's not much on at all. So turn that round so you can see. There we go. Just nice and lightly, just to lighten those little areas up. Okay. That's good because we can put some kind of like embellishment here. Yeah, this is leading into summer. My gosh, that's sort of a mixture really of spring into summer, I think, that one. And it's a napkin that has done that. Definitely. Okay, right, and see here where it's sort of showing through to the Tyvek, which I said, you know, this sometimes happens where it cracks a little bit. I'll just show you how to get rid of that. You just use a little bit of brown paint, acrylic paint. You can see the Tyvek, that's what it is, because that paper was quite thin that we used on top. So, and then because I've done that, I'm gonna do it sort of in other places really. Just bring that out a bit. Now cover that up nicely. And it was as though it was meant to be. I will clean that up, but I'm not going to clean it up with that one because I'm going to dry that and most probably cut flowers out of it. Okay, right.